Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Cloud Show. And as you can see, I am, still at conference, which is lovely. This is the Cloud Brew Conference in Belgium, and it's an awesome community conference with great speakers and great content and even great food. We're standing here in the booth of Delaware, one of the sponsors, and we are so happy that some companies choose to sponsor community events. That is important. So we're here for learning and having some good conversations. And the next good conversation I will have is about powerlifting of all things, powerlifting in data. And I'm going to talk to a good friend of mine. The star of the show is going to be Adele. Hi, Adele. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm second day of Cloud Brew. I'm really enjoying it.
It's a good conference, right?
It's excellent.
It's one of the better ones.
Hidden gem of the conference circuit. I said it yesterday.
For sure. It absolutely is. And in my experience from conferences, and it is significant, the best conferences are organized by people who are community leaders and speakers themselves, in my opinion.
100%, because they understand the community, they're part of the community
they know what it's about. Yeah,
100%.
For sure. And so I want to talk to you about not your pet project. That's much more than a pet project. You're working out, right? You're a power lifter, right?
Yeah, it's a hobby of mine.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not like super elite or anything, but keeps me out of trouble and also helps me put on some muscle and hopefully can extend my life.
Yeah. And so just for the audience then, apart from your hobby, what do you do in tech? What's your game?
So I actually work in the educational sector, and my weapons of choice, so to speak, during my day job are Kotlin and Java. But I'm using React and JavaScript more on the front end.
Very good.
But Kotlin, I would say, is my weapon of choice.
And also just to mention your session here, which was...
It was actually called Mayday Mark II, more software lessons from aviation disasters. So I'm a little bit of an aviation geek. So I decided to blend my nerds leanings and sort of blend those two worlds together because I don't have a computer science degree. I didn't study computer science.
Right.
So I don't have necessarily that, stereotypical background of hacking away in the basement.
No.
I came from a different industry. I actually studied economics at university. I also studied civil engineering. I've worked in a number of different jobs. I worked in a mine site. I've worked in marketing. And so I have this bit of a broader context, I think, to my career. And so I try to bring that to developers.
Exactly. All right, cool. So here you are, right? Speaker at this conference, proper nerd, and your awesome hobby is powerlifting.
Yes.
How the hell did that happen?
I was obese. Simple.
Okay, that's fair.
And I just had to change.
Yeah.
And I sort of started focusing on my food more. I got put on a workout plan.
Yeah.
And I just discovered that I really, really loved lifting. And then I heard of this sport called powerlifting. The cool thing about powerlifting is it's 3 lifts: squat, bench, and deadlift. Mm-hmm. Most people do them in some form at the gym, even just casual gym goers. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to just focus on, because process goals are always the best goals, right?
Yep.
I'm just going to go focus on getting as strong as I possibly can. And I'm going to do everything that I can to support that. And what do you know? The weight fell off, and here we are.
And here we are. Yeah, exactly. And that's great. So it fell off, but now you're lifting it in a different way, which is much better for your health.
100%.
Yes, right? So, okay, cool. So just for the numbers, how much do you squat?
132.5 kilos.
130. That's more than I can do. It's a lot. It's a lot. So you're freaky strong. Okay. But then you have all this, so you're driving this with data, and that's what we're going to talk about now a little bit. All right, so you measure and calculate and tally up all the data on your lifts and all the things.
So it's not about me specifically, although I do appear in the data set. So there's an open source data set by called openpowerlifting.org.
Yeah.
And what they do is they collect all the powerlifting meets from all over the world.
Cool.
The community, it's really community driven.
Of course.
Everyone submits their meets.
All the lifting nerds.
Yeah, 100%. So people that have done a powerlifting competition, then all their statistics, because in a powerlifting competition, you get 3 attempts at each lift, squat, bench, and deadlift. So there's 9 lifts that you've done. It has your weigh-in weight. It has your age. It has where the meet was.
And so on,
And so I use all of that information to pull out data about the community. Last year, or this year, 2020, 2024. So far, we've had over 40,000 people all over the world step on the platform.
Goodness.
Just in the IPF alone, which is sort of one of the main federations. There are a few other ones, but I focus specifically on the IPF, the International Powerlifting Federation.
So could I go in and see, like, okay, what do men soon to become 50 years old, like what do they lift and stuff, and I could check it out and see like what should I be lifting, or could I be lifting?
So I haven't done any benchmarking yet on what certain lifters could expect to lift, but there's so much you can pull out of the data that is for a later analysis. At the moment, I'm focusing more on demographics. So who is lifting? How old are they? What gender are they? How has that grown? One cool thing is that participation of women in particular has increased. In 2023, it was 30% of all powerlifters. Now it's closer to 33%.
Good.
So we are seeing that women are flocking to the sport, and
Very
that really,
nice.
really makes me very, very
And that
excited.
makes me happy too.
100%. And the powerlifting community loves that as well, because strong men love strong women. And so older men in the powerlifting community are also happy that the sport is growing among women, because it actually improves the sport as a whole.
And that's a positive thing. So now you have this data, this open source data set, and then so you done with it? You've made a website, I think.
Yeah, so I have powerliftingandata.com, which is where it's basically just a blog. It's a static Jekyll website. I embed some HTML charts in there.
Yeah.
Those charts are generated from a Kotlin notebook. I use the IntelliJ Kotlin notebook plugin. It makes it like really iterative to pull some insights out of the data. I use the data frame and Candy libraries to process the data, do data wrangling, and then to create the plots themselves, which you can then export as embeddable HTML, which is cool because when you embed the HTML in just the static site, then if you hover over the charts, you can actually see the numbers on them. So they make them, the word isn't interactive, the word they use is dynamic.
Dynamic. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that a lot. And so what do you intend to do now? Like lift even more weights?
Well, 100%. So I just keep lifting the weights and crunching the numbers. And I have an Instagram account as well, which has grown to over 1,000 followers in just a month. So people really
I've seen it. Yeah.
People do really seem to love the fact that someone's taking interest in the sport and telling them, what is happening in the sport. So there's a lot of data nerds in powerlifting. Powerlifting is a number-driven sport. But they're people that actually have the software engineering skills to pull that information out of the data that already exists. That's a little bit harder to find, and so that's the niche that I'm operating.
It's a good niche, and I mean you're supporting the sport and promoting it, but you're also healthy, which all the things are good, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you. Well, I'm happy with this if you are, because this was perfect for me. I really love seeing passion and getting into the mind of someone who's doing something cool and nerdy with data and stuff. We like that. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And audience, see you guys next time on The Cloud Show.